Hi there, this is Juliet from ABC Jungle Yoga, bringing you tools and tips to make your way through the jungle of life as easy as ABC. Today we're outside again, and today I'd like to bring up the question of God. What or who is God? And do you have a relationship with God? So it's often a non-approach subject and not often discussed subject. Sorry, tongue twisted. And the word itself carries a lot of baggage. It can be seen in the light of just attached to specific religions, for example, which also carry a lot of baggage. What I'm talking about for myself is something more than the tangible, what we can see, what we can touch right now. Something that is like a consciousness or an energy that permeates everything, whether that's humans, animals, plants, rocks, or anything that's here on the planet. Something that is beyond what we know, and that's a lot. I used to think that science was everything. Science knows everything because it's all about research and proving things. And I heard this great story by a doctor. He said when he was studying to be a doctor, he was in a class and the professor said to him, he was talking about a specific illness, and he mentioned the name of this illness and was talking about it, and this apprentice doctor had no idea what it was, and he didn't want to ask a question because he didn't want to sound silly because he didn't know. So he wrote it down, and after the class he went away and he researched what this meant. And do you know what it actually meant? It actually meant we don't know. So it was basically the name of an illness or something that they don't know. Anyway, from that moment on, this apprentice doctor actually went on and started looking more into what we don't know as opposed to what we know. And what he found is there's a hell of a lot more stuff that we don't know than what we actually know. And if you look into any subject, you'll find that out. When I was in hospital when I was 9 years old, I was in hospital for 6 weeks. I stopped eating, my temperature went up to 104, and my whole skin peeled all over, a bit like a kind of a snake rebirthing, where they peel and lose their whole skin. And I actually came out, I was in isolation for a while, and I was in this hospital for 6 weeks. But I came out at the end of this 6 weeks, and the assessment was... basically the conclusion was unknown virus. So when we look into it, there's actually a lot more that we don't know. And God, or whatever, the name is obviously insignificant, because if it is a kind of an all-permeating thing, it's beyond name and form. So our mind likes to label something and to try and understand it and know it, so therefore we put a name on it. But the language is limited, because it's name and form, and it's framing something. Whereas if there is this God or whatever it is, this permeating consciousness, then it is infinite, and it's beyond name or form. It's even beyond the mind, because the mind is a form and is limited itself. So like with meditation, where we go beyond the mind into this experience of meditation, that is that space where we can experience that oneness of all, that God, or whatever name you want to call it. Name, source, universe, oneness, I don't know. So yeah, that's me for today. Bye.